January 2, 2026 at 8:30 p.m. An AP-272 aircraft belonging to Buddha Air prepares to take off from Kathmandu, Nepal, direct short-haul flights to Bodhball Airport. There were 55 more people on board. The estimated flight time is 30 to 40 minutes. During the descent at approximately 9 p.m. that night, the plane lost control after touching the runway, eventually crossing the end of the runway. The nose part sinks into the soft sole layer on the ground. The accident injured 7 people. Nobody died. The runway length of Bodhball Airport is approximately 1,500 meters. The AT-272 typically requires a landing distance of no more than 900 meters, in theory. The runway conditions are sufficient to investigate the cause of the accident. The analysis will be based on publicly available flight radar data. Data display. The flight path of the aircraft during the prohibition process is called a zigzag. Indicates that the pilot is conducting manual control. The airport is not equipped with an instrument landing system. All landings are visually operated by the pilot. In the final stage, aircraft maintain an airspeed of about 80 knots, within the normal range. But the height is always high, 325 feet above the runway entrance, over 3/4 of the runway, 225 feet. The plane was not forcibly grounded until the end of the runway, then ran off the runway due to insufficient remaining runway. Usually, when the pilot realizes that the altitude is too high or the landing conditions are not ideal, the go-around procedure should be implemented decisively, especially in the relatively open terrain around Bodhpur Airport. That the pilots on this flight did not make that choice. The reason may be due to the combination of low night visibility in winter and visual illusions. The weather conditions may have been poor at that time. Dense fog at night affects visual reference. Pilots in restraining or failing to clearly identify runway night signs. Do not use runway end markings as a starting point, resulting in delayed judgment. As the plane neared the end of its run, the pilot may have realized that the position was wrong, that the speed of the plane was already low. Altitude is falling. The accelerated liftoff distance required to perform the go-around is no longer sufficient. A forced go-around might not gain enough force to cause a more violent ground impact, so the pilot chose to continue the descent. Maybe it's a desperate decision to control the damage in an emergency situation. It should be explained that the altitude shown by the flight radar is barometric altitude rather than true ground altitude. The airport is about 300 feet above sea level, so 350 feet on the radar is the actual range of the plane, and the altitude is only about 50 feet. This explains the 0% drop in altitude in the data. After it is actually grounded, the altimeter automatically adjusts to the correct airport elevation. The accident may have been caused by a combination of factors. The airport lacked instrument landing assistance, night low-energy supervision. Pilots make visual errors and make last-minute decisions about loss of space. Although the accident investigation is still ongoing, the preliminary analysis shows that, under extreme conditions, the pilot may have done what he thought was best for the safety of the crew. Every accident is caused by omissions in multiple links. In-depth investigation is not only responsible for divorce, drawing valuable lessons for future aviation safety.